The tale of Prophet Yusuf, known as Joseph in biblical traditions, is one of the most profound and moving narratives to emerge from history, a story shared and revered by millions in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. It's a story of trials, perseverance, and triumph, a journey that transcends time and geography. Let us walk through this remarkable life and uncover the wisdom within. It all begins in the land of Canaan, where young Yusuf was born to Prophet Yaqub, known as Jacob, one of 12 brothers. As a child, Yusuf was blessed with extraordinary beauty and intelligence. But it was more than just his outward appearance that made him remarkable. Yusuf had been chosen by God for a greater purpose, a destiny he could never have imagined. One night, Yusuf had a vivid dream. He saw 11 stars, the sun and the moon bowing to him. Confused but fascinated by this vision, he shared it with his father. Prophet Yaqub immediately recognized that this dream carried a divine message. "My son," Yaqub said, "do not tell your brothers about this vision, for they may envy you." And he was right to warn him. Yusuf's half-brothers harbored resentment toward him. They saw in Yusuf a favorite, a son greatly loved by their father. Consumed by jealousy, they devised a sinister plan to rid themselves of him. They convinced their father to let Yusuf accompany them on a journey, promising to take care of him. But instead they threw their brother into the depths of a well, leaving him abandoned and alone in the darkness. They returned home with a fabricated story, claiming a wild animal had taken Yusuf's life. But Yusuf's story was far from over. In the stillness of the well, Yusuf's faith remained unshaken, and God's plan unfolded. A passing caravan stopped at the well, and its travelers discovered the young boy. They rescued him, but Yusuf was soon sold into slavery and transported to Egypt. In Egypt, Yusuf entered the household of Al-Aziz, a high-ranking official. He grew into a handsome and wise young man, and his qualities did not go unnoticed. But soon, a trial tested his moral character. Al-Aziz's wife, dazzled by Yusuf's beauty, tried to seduce him. But Yusuf, guided by his faith and principles, resisted her advances. Despite his innocence, the situation took a turn for the worse. Accused of wrongdoing, Yusuf was imprisoned, a painful consequence for a man who upheld his virtue. But even in the darkness of the prison cell, Yusuf's light could not be dimmed. His patience and resilience were unwavering. Over time, it became clear that Yusuf had been blessed not only with beauty and wisdom, but also with the gift of interpreting dreams. This gift would change his fortune. Among his prison companions were 2 men who each had troubling dreams. Yusuf listened carefully and, through divine guidance, interpreted the dreams accurately. News of his ability reached the palace, and years later, when the pharaoh himself was plagued by an unsettling dream of 7 fat cows being devoured by 7 lean ones and 7 healthy ears of grain withering alongside 7 dry ones, he summoned Yusuf. Yusuf explained Egypt's future. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of severe famine. Not only did he interpret the dream, but Yusuf also offered a plan to store surplus grain during the plentiful years to prepare for the years of scarcity. The pharaoh, impressed by Yusuf's wisdom, appointed him as a high-ranking official, placing him in charge of managing Egypt's resources. With God's guidance, Yusuf steered Egypt through the ordeal, saving countless lives. His wisdom, fairness, and integrity earned him respect and admiration across the land. But Yusuf's story doesn't end here. Now, a powerful leader, fate brought his brothers to Egypt seeking food during the famine. They did not recognize Yusuf when they stood before him, pleading for aid. Yusuf, however, recognized them immediately. But instead of seeking vengeance for their betrayal, Yusuf chose the path of grace. He tested his brothers, uncovering the change in their hearts. And when they passed his tests, Yusuf revealed his true identity to them. Imagine the moment, the astonishment on their faces, the overwhelming mix of guilt and relief. Yet Yusuf harbored no anger. "No blame will there be upon you today," he told them. "May God forgive you, for he is the most merciful." In this act of forgiveness, Yusuf exemplified the noblest of virtues, mercy and compassion. He invited his family, including his aging father Yaqub, to settle in Egypt, reuniting with them after years of separation. The prophecy of Yusuf's childhood dream had come true. The 11 stars, the sun, and the moon indeed bowed before him, symbolizing his brothers and parents honoring him, not out of submission but out of recognition of God's plan for him. The story of Prophet Yusuf is not only a historical account, but also a lesson in faith, patience, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Yusuf faced betrayal, injustice, and imprisonment, but through it all, he remained steadfast. His trust in God never wavered, and in return, he was elevated from the depths of despair to the heights of success. Yusuf's life reminds us that trials are often the stepping stones to greatness. His journey from a forsaken well to the palace of Egypt teaches us that faith and perseverance can overcome the darkest of circumstances. And perhaps most importantly, Yusuf's story shows us the transformative power of forgiveness, how letting go of bitterness can heal wounds and restore bonds. Centuries may have passed since Yusuf walked the earth, but his story continues to inspire. It's a reminder that no matter how bleak the situation may seem, there is always hope, always a chance for redemption, and always a greater plan at work. As we reflect on the life of Prophet Yusuf, let us strive to embody his qualities, his wisdom, his patience, and his unwavering faith. For in doing so, we not only honor his legacy, but also bring forth the same light and guidance into our own lives.